Hi, this is Matt Rhodes for Derbyshire Media Company, and I'm joined by Paul Phillips, the Morpeth Town manager. Paul, I almost don't know where to start with that. An extremely eventful match. First of all, what did you make of the Matlock Place performance tonight?
Proud of him. I think you go down to 10 men after 30 minutes, which is an uphill struggle to start off with. I think it was a stupid red card. Spencer knows that. He's too long in the teeth to get conned into doing what he did, even though there's minimum impact. I think then we've reacted. I think we was a better team first half. We hit the post, we hit the bar. I think we hit the post again. But we've not took them chances, like I just said to him. But we're getting in there to make them chances. I thought when we went down to 10 men, I thought it was imperative that we got in at half time so we could get through to the lads where we was going, what we was doing. And I thought they took the instructions brilliantly, and I'm proud of them tonight. And for me, they've shown the willingness to keep the ball out net against a team that direct, puts the ball in the box, asks you questions. I thought, as a man there tonight, they should be proud of it. As supporters, as a club tonight, I think they give everything they've got.
Yeah, there were a lot of chances at both ends, really end-to-end stuff. Would you consider it, when you look back on it now, as 1 point gained or 2 points dropped?
I think the latter, I'm perfectly honest, because I think we've had, even before they've scored, we've had 2 or 3 chances where P's got in the box or other people got in the box, and we've just not hit the target, which is my pet hate. But if you'd told me that when we went down to 10 men, that we'd get a point out of the game, I'd have snatched your hand off. But the way we managed it, the way Marshy ran and got in good places in the second half to get them on the back foot, I thought it was superb. I thought Alex Byrne and Jude got tucked in, and as a back four unit, there was outstanding with the keeper involved as well. So, but I'd have took a point, but it's a disappointment because of how we played and how many chances we created, even with 10 men.
Couple of new faces tonight that we've mentioned a little bit before as well, with Cal Trenry coming in tonight, with John Stewart still out injured, and Alex Byrne. With the latter there, with Alex, obviously you knew him from your time at, with his previous club being at Buxton.
Yeah.
Is that a player that you've been wanting to get ever since you've come to Matlock?
It was a player I tried to get to Buxton, to be honest, when he was at Warrington. He's a player I tried to get to Ashton before he went to Warrington, so I know all about him, and you're seeing it tonight. Obviously he's not played for 2 weeks, but his energy, his work rate, his cleverness off the ball, his delivery, even though I didn't think it was great tonight. I thought a couple of times he put the ball on a plate for us, and we've got to get used to that, because that's one thing we have missed this season, that someone to put the ball in an area where we can go and attack it, similar to their number 4 did tonight. And I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. Just for me, our winger's got to do just as much work off the ball. He has on the ball, and I think we had too many wingers when I walked into the club that were great when we had the ball, but when we didn't have the ball, there was a bit of a passenger, and we've got to change that culture.
How pleased were you with the character of the side? Because obviously going down to 10 men, when the team was doing well too. What did you say at half time? What was the message then? Just keep going as they were, or anything else?
I just thought we have to get the shape right. We have to obviously take Taggy off, which is a bit unfortunate, but we have to get Ben Gordon on, who I thought again was superb. But we just had to drum it into him that we could still win the football match with 10 against 11. We work on stuff like this in training, moving across the pitch quick, and he's trying to open us up. But I still thought we could win the game, even with 10 against 11. And like I said, you can see with the disappointment in there, even though I've just told them they should be proud of themselves, that where we are as a group, and we're building something here. No disrespect to the previous manager, we've got players in there that when we walked into the place that lacked heart, lacked desire to win, and it's more of an individual game than a club culture. And I can't have that. Alex Byrne, Kyle, if you have to bring other people in that because people can't see the bigger picture, that you never win anything as an individual, it's all about a team, then other people will come in and other people will go. But tonight, like I say, it's all about the 10 people that were on the pitch after Spencer went off. Even though Spencer was outstanding in the first half an hour, I think they stuck up for themselves in a game where they asked a lot of questions aerially and second balls. And again, as a club and as a manager, I'm very proud of them.
Still a few players out injured, people like Jack Ray, Luke Hinsley. Any reports on when they might be back in action? And with the injuries, are you still looking to add more players to the squad?
Well, I wasn't, to be honest, as a defensive unit now, though. We're down to 4, realistically, with Ellis going out as well last week. We're down to 4 fit defenders. So with the amount of games we've got coming up, we need at least a little bit of cover on the bench if anything happens to the 4 that's in place at the moment. So that's probably an area where we'll look at to try and get a loan in, because we can't go forward with 4 games a week just relying on the 4 lads at the back. But again, I just don't want to bring players in, as I've said before to James and other people at the club. I don't just want to bring players in that I'm just going to, for the time being, I want to bring players as Alec Byrne, Kyle Trenner, all the players that are brought in to push on, not just for now, but for next season as well, because I don't believe that short-term fix is a long-term gain. For me, you've got to be a long-term gain, and this club's in a position that it should never be. With the fans, the way it is, the team we've got in there, we've got to make sure that we get safe this year, hopefully win a cup, and then next year build on something that we've started gaining this year and push on and try and get out of this league.
It's been well documented as well that obviously Matlock have a lot of games in hand, and we've now got to
a lot,
just a bit, yeah. I think it's still potentially after today, 19 games in about something like 52 days. Is there anything different that you're trying to do in terms of your approach to training, maybe to work on the players' fitness, knowing just how gruelling a session this last bit of the season will be?
Well, no disrespect, we've just done Saturday, we've just had a night game Tuesday, and you can't now get them in on a Thursday night, obviously, because we've got Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. So sometimes rest is good as anything. They've just played with 10 men now. For me to drag them in and try and... last week, I'll be perfectly honest, what that group did, they went away. We give them schedules to do in training. We give them 7 to 9K, and every one of them achieved that. So that tells you anything that you need to know about winners in that dressing room. And I think, again, that's when the manager can trust them and know that come Thursday, when we give them another schedule and something to do, that they do it and make sure that they're ready to go and play 3 games next week.
Okay, just finally looking ahead to the next game, if it's not postponed, this Saturday
Don't say that.
Away against Hyde United in the Northern Premier League. What's your thoughts going into that? You actually only recently played Hyde. That was a 1-1 draw. What's your thoughts going into that next game?
Well, it'll be a total different game than a footballing team, unlike these tonight. Who'll put it in the mix and then try and get the second balls. Obviously, they won 5-2 against a Lancaster team, quite high in the table Saturday. We went and watched it, luckily enough, because our match was off once again. But it'd be a test of character. Again, we're going playing on a plastic pitch, so it's a different culture. But for me, we've got to show the same desire and the same willingness and the same passion to go and put the ball in net and keep out the other net. And as a group, I've watched a lot of games this year, and if we can get that group firing in there, which I'm hoping with 1 or 2 additions what we've now put in, there's no one to worry about in this league. I watch South Shields, all the teams that. But we've got the biggest problem we've had here this season, and when I walked in, was that we beat ourselves. We beat ourselves when we conceded a goal. We didn't regroup and didn't go again. Tonight, that was a problem. I thought we could easily have folded, but we've shown the other side of the game that we need to push ourselves forward, like I said, and get ourselves up the table and then push on for next year.
Okay, well, thanks for your time tonight, Paul. Well done on the 1-1 draw, and good luck for the game against Hyde United on Saturday.
Thank you very much.